Hey there, Contractor Kev here with Overseas Contractor Academy, and today we're going to do this, I'm going to do a couple topical videos about the contractor lifestyle. And what I mean by that is living overseas, working overseas, and basically having more money than you probably ever had, having more personal freedom than you ever had because you have the money, and now you have global access. You're out of that comfort zone and you can kind of travel and do whatever. So let's talk about it. Come back in 12 seconds. Okay, so the contractor lifestyle. One of the sort of the premises that to me, if you're going to live this lifestyle, is it just makes sense to me to earn in a high earnings area and spend in a low earnings area. And the reason for that is your money goes a lot further. So to give an example of that, if you work in Kuwait, let's say, and you're on 100,000 a year, okay, that's good. But if you want to try to go live in Hawaii off of that, in Honolulu or something, dude, it's not going to go very far. Don't get me wrong, Hawaii's beautiful. I've been out there. I've actually had a job out in Hawaii for a little bit. It's friggin' beautiful out there, but it is so expensive. And so your $100,000, it's just not going to last out there. You're probably going to be lucky to get friggin' 6 months out of that. So, and that's if you save like everything you made in Kuwait, which, I've covered elsewhere, but generally your savings rate's going to be somewhere between 75 and 90%. You will spend some money, but let's say you save up 80 grand. Well, if it's costing you 6, 7, 8 grand to live and party and have your fun in Hawaii, that money's going to be gone, dude. That money's just going to be out. And so you don't want to live in an expensive place to live. If your family is from a certain place and that's just the way it is and it's expensive and you feel like you're obligated to go live there, sorry for you. That's all I can say, because financially that makes no sense to me. That's like, you got choice A. I could buy my car that's perfectly good at a place A at some certain price, or I can go to place B and pay a lot more for that same damn car. Well, it makes no sense for me to go pay more for the same thing. And I tend to, because I grew up in a military family, we moved like every 2 years, way before there was this concept of like quality of life in the military. Basically, the military would just say move, 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 and you can change assignment, and that's what my father did. So it kind of sucked, because for me, it would be, we're out in California for a year and a half, 2 years, and then, go to Massachusetts, and then we're up in Massachusetts, and then we're down in Florida, and then we're in Virginia, and it's just every couple of years, move, move, move. And it's like change friends, change schools, change all the cultural norms, because let's face it, people in Texas act very different than the people in Massachusetts. The people up in the northwest of the country are very, very different than Southerners. And so as a kid, I had to learn to adjust to all that. And so, but basically, because I lived in a lot of different areas, to me, it don't make a shit, man. I'll get up and move somewhere. If I don't feel like I have to stay in one particular area. And because of that, when I make big money, I don't feel like I have to stay in one place, whether it's expensive or not. And so if your family and if your family's in an expensive place and you feel obligated, I'm sorry for you, but no, man, that ain't me. That makes no sense. My life is going to be probably pretty cool wherever I go. So why do I have to go somewhere that's going to cost me a bunch more? I mean, to me, it's apples to apples. I'm going to have fun whether I'm in a lower cost area or a higher cost. Now, I'm not going to go to the ghetto and go live in somewhere like, south side Chicago or Detroit or something just to save some money. But at the same time, my life's going to be okay. I don't need to be living in New York City or Honolulu or some expensive ass place and just burning through my savings. That makes no sense. And so part of the contractor lifestyle is living overseas. And the thing that makes the most sense to me is earning the money in, Kuwait, Iraq, Afghanistan, whatever, earning this huge tax-free paycheck, and then living somewhere that money is going to last a long time. So for me, that's Southeast Asia and Latin America. And that's where I kind of like to be. Okay, so the places I would recommend in Central America, Latin America, you got Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica. Some parts of Mexico are pretty cool, but you know, obviously they've got their share of crime problems and all that. And when you go overseas, you live overseas in a cheaper location, you have to realize that compared to a local, you are going to be seen as someone that's wealthy. And because of that, even if you're in a good place, property crime and crime of opportunity, they will, you know, they'll just see it as, well, you can afford to replace it if I take something off your porch. So, you know, violent crime may not be that big of an issue, especially like, you know, somewhere like Panama or Costa Rica. It's super low compared to a lot of the US cities. But property crime probably a little more, because you do have some poor people, and if you leave your valuables out or you leave something nice out sitting on the porch, that shit could disappear, man. You know, you gotta think about it and be smart. So Central South America, that's somewhere that your money that you make in overseas in the Middle East, so you're earning in a high cost, high pay area, and then you go spend it in a low cost, low pay area, that money will last a long, long time, man. And I think this is one of the big problems that I see with sort of the rat wheel, the hamster wheel, the US, and what's going on is basically, you know, you're sold on the idea that you need all these material things, and so you need to work more and you work harder and work your way up the corporate ladder so you can have a bigger house and a nicer car and a nicer this and a better that. And so you're just perpetually sort of stuck in this cycle where the more money you make, the more you spend to have these more expensive things. And something that living in South America, Central America, what it will teach you is you don't need all that crap. It's totally not necessary. Like, you can be comfortable, you can have some cool things, and you don't have to be keeping up with the Joneses. And when it's one of those situations like when you're outside of it, you see it really clearly for what it is. So part of the contractor lifestyle is living globally and starting to think a little better about the whole circle of, like, you know, the way it is in America, where, you know, you're trying so hard just to earn and to have decent things and to make your you know, to pay your bills and make your ends meet, and, you know, you're never really getting ahead. And whereas if you go overseas, even for a year or two, and then you go stay somewhere like Latin America, man, you got money for a long time, and you can take a lot of time off. And that's really like one of the big parts of the contractor lifestyle, is being able to have, like, if you feel like taking just 6 months off and like read the 100 most important books of all time, or you want to go see Machu Picchu, or whatever it is, man, you know, you want to learn to play guitar, speak Spanish, you just want to like go hook up with hot chicks, you know, whatever it is you want to do, there's time and money to do that now, because your money goes so much further. So there you go. Latin America, Central America, really good choices. Now on the flip side of that, you have Southeast Asia. And so that's kind of, because I had been to Latin America, I had been stationed in Europe in the military, and so I've been all over Europe, grew up all over America, and traveled and worked throughout the Middle East. When I finally kind of got my collective shit together from working overseas, I hit Southeast Asia and just hopped around to like all these countries: Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, all these places. Just tried out living there, man, because it was fascinating to me to be in this other part of the world. And again, it's about working in Iraq where I'm on 150 or I'm on 145, or I'm in Kuwait and I'm only on 90 or 100 or something, but that's still so much money over there. And that money will last a long time. So you can go over and like have a really nice lifestyle with that kind of money, and, you know, basically just party and travel, and, you know, you're basically a rock star. So it's really cool. And that is, again, that ties into that contractor lifestyle, where it's like, do you want to be on the rat wheel forever in the US, or do you want to work in a high cost, high pay area, but someone else pays all your expenses, so that high pay just gets banked, and then you go live in a low cost, low pay area? Anyways, leave me a comment and hit me up, and if you like this kind of video, hit the subscribe button. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.